Alright, so in this one I'm going to be going through, drawing a shirt. And this is a good exercise to do as every now and then draw from real life. In this case, it's actually better to draw from a photo because it's going to be hard to, have someone sit still long enough to, draw from real life and to learn wrinkles in clothing. Anyway, so it's a good exercise to do to learn wrinkles in clothing is to draw from real life and learn how to simplify and how to apply it to a comic book. So one thing you notice in this shirt is there's a lot of wrinkles. Here, let me go ahead and zoom in. I had to really change the lighting so you can see it because she was wearing like black, so I really wanted to change where you can see the wrinkles and stuff. A lot of wrinkles happen in here around where the shirt is. That is where the arm and shoulder are attached. And so most shirts either have a seam around here, and that's more for certain types of shirts that do that in like jackets. Typical shirts usually have a seam right around here, and there's a seam that goes all the way around like that that attaches this cloth to that cloth. It's good to remember that. And also there's a seam on the inside and on the outside to attach these two pieces of cloth. Or rather, hold on. There's usually only a seam on the inside of the cloth, and so that it's hidden the most. That comes up and attaches to that seam that comes there. It's important to know seams, I think, and how they work. And there's usually a seam on the inside here and the inside here like that. So on the actual side. So if you view her from the side, you'll be able to see that seam. Alright, so we have a lot of wrinkles happening in here. We have some wrinkles happen in the elbow. We have some wrinkles happening in here. And then of course, usually where the shirt scrunches and bends down over the curve of the back and then to the butt, you're going to have some horizontal type vertical or kind of diagonal and horizontal creases or wrinkles. And then elbow again on that side. Alright, so let's go ahead and start practicing drawing from the photo and learn how to simplify and stuff, and what should we pay attention to, what should we ignore, that sort of thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I only need a few wrinkles here because you don't need much to really emphasize that there's a shirt here, and I might kind of pull that wrinkle there and then a couple of these wrinkles and kind of come back. Sometimes it's cool to, when you draw these wrinkles, to let's say that one, and then you can kind of hook back on some of them, or you can even maybe represent the whole wrinkle if you want, kind of like so, and then kind of put a shadow on one side of that, and that would have a whole raised material. But you typically don't do that for comic books, so it's not like you're trying to represent something real here when you're doing a comic book. I mean, you're representing something real, but you don't have to make it so realistic. So just a few wrinkles like that will be fine. And then you could kind of hint at, that's too much, you could kind of hint at some of those wrinkles, and what I like to do is kind of come like that and then like that, and that's a good hint at wrinkles there, little lumps and stuff. Then come down like that. So now I have, the wrinkles coming around her shoulder. I might have exaggerated that one too much, but it's fine because it's comic work, so it's not like it has to be too realistic. And stylizing your comic is often something you do. And I might have just even though it doesn't happen in the photo, I might have a few wrinkles that come off that way just because I think it looks cooler and shows a change in direction. I might have a few wrinkles here, and I might even show that one wrinkle coming up, and that's probably too thick, kind of like that, and then maybe kind of loop back part of that line, and it's kind of cool to do those loop back lines like that. And if you want, you could kind of represent that kind of wrinkle there, and then you can kind of with smaller lines, or even change your size of your brush to a 3 or something. Right now I'm working with the 5. And then I might just have a few more of those little dents like that. When you get toward the end of the sleeve too, you might want to consider, let's say her hands come off like that, having a few of those little wrinkles like that, because they typically happen around the sleeve area where the sleeve ends and connects to the hand, because it kind of scrunches up there a little bit. Here's a cool trick I like to do is I draw like whatever the leg or hand, whatever like that, with enclosed lines, and then on the outside of this line I draw part of the shirt, so it comes like that. And do the same thing with pants too, and it's pretty cool looking. And if you want, you have a few more wrinkles like that. So, it's probably too much. Just that would be enough. And so you see that just simplifying the wrinkles a little bit is enough to suggest the form. And that's all you need. And then the rest you can do with shadow. And it depends how complicated you get with your shadowing and lighting. But that's really all you have to do to represent wrinkles, I think, in comics. And of course, if you want to draw more realistically, you're gonna have to draw a lot more of these wrinkles. But still, there's simplification a lot, even with pencil work. Even if you're doing something more realistic, that is, you're going for a more realistic style, you can still get away with a lot of simplification. It's one of the, I think one of the main things in art that makes art so different than like a photo or something is that there's all this simplification that happens with a painting, a drawing, whatever it might be. And so you can really get carried away with a lot of those wrinkles like that and really represent it if you want, but typically you don't have that much time when you're working on comics to really get into all that. So I usually don't do that. What I will do is kind of represent the edges, the corners, and add some detail there, and that's about the only place I'll add a lot of the detail is on the edges, and then I'll just have a few little lines. Maybe I'll represent like how that curve there goes, and let me get rid of the ink over here. What I did just to get started on this was just quickly trace around the body to get a figure to work on, because I didn't want to waste my time drawing something I don't have to draw. Okay, so you can represent this one by just kind of, a hook. So there's different shortcuts, or I guess you can say interpretations of wrinkles, like different kinds of lines you can do. And it's just, it comes with time that you can start doing those different types of lines. Like I might do this particular edge over here, where I'm going to have this, and I'm going to kind of come off with another edge like that. And then you can do the little hooks and stuff. So I have a whole series on that, actually. I go into great detail about the different edges and stuff you can do and the different kinds of lines you can do to represent wrinkles. I don't think there's any reason over here to really draw much of. Sometimes I just get sloppy and I just do that. It's like it represents what I want it to, and people that are looking at the comic will be able to see, okay, cool, those are wrinkles, and that's where they should wrinkle at, and that works. Then you might kind of do some wrinkles like that, and notice I'm still kind of representing that form when I'm looking at. And also, it's a good practice to actually go as detailed as you can with some of this stuff, and go with realism. And the reason why, and obviously there's going to be some simplification even when you're doing realism, but the reason why is because after you draw the wrinkles as real as possible, but with some simplification, then what will happen is when you begin to simplify even more to a comic style, you know what parts you're picking and why you're picking them. You understand the dynamics of the wrinkles and why they work the way they do, and you can actually draw them in more realism if you wanted to. But you're like, okay, I can cut this corner. You know what corners you're cutting and why you're cutting them. It's kind of like in writing. You learn the rules for when and why, how to break them. So another trick, again, I'm going to show you the same trick because it's a really cool trick when how the shirt wraps around, is what you do is you draw that bottom line where it connects to the skin, and then stop like that. Then you draw the rest of the skin or pants, whatever it is that's underneath the shirt, like that. And then right here on this edge is where you'd begin to draw, and you'll even see it in the picture. It's how it looks. And this gives the illusion that it's wrapping around, like so. And then I might have a little one here, and then another wrinkle, and just kind of go like that. So pulling that around is a good way to see. Now it looks like it's actually wrapping around her body, and like it has some form there. And then just to show what all this looks like now, I'm going to go ahead and erase some of that under stuff. Okay, so I was able to do that very quickly, while talking and everything. I can do it much quicker if I don't talk. And that's a very complicated amount of line work, I think. Like, I never usually do that much line work when I do my comics, but like I said, this is good practice to get to know how the wrinkles work and where they wrinkle. Just so spend a day or 3 hours or however much time you have If you don't have much time in the day, then do it over several days, maybe for every day of the week or 5 days of the week for an hour a day. Do nothing but do this. What I just did is get pictures online and then draw the wrinkles as you see them, but simplify them. And that will instill in your mind where wrinkles wrinkle and stuff like that. And then you'll like start to be able to do it from your mind more. And then just remember, also it's good to, point out and, but see where the wrinkles, we know why they wrinkle here. Why does the wrinkles happen around the arm area here? The reason why the wrinkles happen here when the arm is bent and stuff is because there's a material that connects there, like I was saying. You have this, okay, I'm on the wrong layer. You have that, oh, I'm on the eraser, that's why it's not working. You have this seam right here that connects the two materials. So naturally where that seam is, you're going to get more wrinkles happening. Wherever there's seams, you get a lot of wrinkles happening. And why do wrinkles happen around the elbow? Well, actually, because the cloth scrunches up in this area when you extend your arm straight. When you bend your arm taut, this becomes taut and there's no wrinkles there. Then you have wrinkles on the other side. So let's say you had the arm like this and it's bent. The wrinkles now would happen on this side and not on the elbow side. I know that's like a really crude little drawing there, but whatever. You get the idea. I didn't want to waste time trying to draw something cool. Okay, so also whenever how the body kind of has this shape and then it comes out like that, where it begins to come back out here with the buttocks or the glutes, whatever, and the hips, you're going to have some wrinkles in that area. So in this, typically around the belly button area, you're going to have wrinkles in there. And then also where, depending on how taut the shirt is pulled down, if she would pull the shirt down taut like that, it would get rid of a lot of these wrinkles on the bottom, if not all of them, depending on the type of material. But typically, people don't always pull that taut, and so it scrunches up like this, and that's why you get the wrinkles right around here. And same thing wherever material ends, at the end of feet or at the end of wrist, you get some bunching up there. I hope this video is helpful, and I like to do these exercises, and I figured, hey, I'm going to do it right now anyway. I might as well just record myself doing some of the exercises I like to do. And you can do them too. And like I said, I think if you do this for a week, for at least an hour a day, you will definitely see an improvement and difference in how you draw wrinkles. And then when you start to draw from your mind again, you can take some of that knowledge with you in your mind drawings. The drawings from your mind will get better. All right, thank you for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. I always, like your guys' feedback, so leave comments. Let me know what you think and what you like and dislike and what you want to see and what you don't want to see and so forth. Oh, and you can click the thumbs up button if you enjoy this.